concentrated power of will. 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. Fort Minor.
And my producer tells me that we are live for ABT Live number 59. Firstly, I must admit, I like your new intro, Nicole. Sweet. Although I did sit there and I added up the percentages. I would have been OCD if they didn't add up to 100%. What was it? It was like 50% luck and 30% skill. And
about 370%.
no, it did actually add up to 100%. So love it. Love the new intro. Love the new look. We've got a great ABT Live for you tonight. Plenty of special guests, especially in studio. We do have a dial-in that we recorded earlier from the Australian bass fishing team, the Australian largemouth bass fishing team, which is like the Jamaican bobsledding team. They got no snow. We got no largemouth bass, but somehow it all works. So that's later in the show. But we have Peter Herbst live tonight. We have some of the guys from Wilson's in tonight. A whole lot of live interaction, a whole lot of show and tell. And Pete, welcome to the ABT studio. First time you're on ABT Live.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Pete works for EJ Todds, who are a great ABT sponsor across Brim, Bass and Barramundi. So Brian, Todd and the team down there, thank you very much for your input over the years. Good to finally get you. You only live about a kilometre away.
Yeah, five stone throws away, basically.
That's it. So Pete's in tonight there, and maybe we're going to be able to twist Pete's arm enough to maybe get to a Barra Tour event or two this year or next year or something.
It's on the cards, maybe next year. Need a bit more practice, I reckon.
I've been watching some of Pete's Barra YouTube videos, mate. You definitely know how to catch them. It's just, do you know how to catch them when there's 20 other boats all trying to catch the same fish?
Probably not.
And that's the exciting part of it.
Just move one of the mics closer to Pete.
All right, we've got to move mics here. This is on the fly. So that's what we got going tonight. What's been happening in ABT? We've got a bit of a list about what's happening here. We finished up the 2025 Rapala Bass Pro Series last week. We had the two midweek events in the Brisbane Valley Dams. The decoy event was at Somerset. The TT event, TT Z-Man event was at Wivenhoe. And I'm just going to say here, I called in one of my Tackle Fridays. I said, I reckon Wivenhoe's top 5 winning weights are going to be heavier than Somerset's top 5 winning weights. And I don't like to brag, but I dead set nailed that. It was about 6 kilos heavier, the top 5 winning weights. Harry Hardman, of course, put 16 kilos for 10 fish in at Wivenhoe. Sean Falconhagen won with just over 14 kilos at Somerset. But you nearly had to have 10 kilos just to get into the top 5 at Wivenhoe. Wivenhoe is a massive, possibly a little bit understocked dam, but the bass, as a result, grow really big and fat. So, young Harry Hardman, good to see you have your first win there. I've never seen, Nicole, how excited was Harry with his, when he put the fish on the scales? He was like, yeah. He was super excited. So, it was good to see such passion in the Bass Series. So, we've set the Bass Grand Final fields now. If you've got a message or a call from me, I've called you up to check to see if you're going to make it to the Grand Final. We had about 4 or 5 boaters not be able to make it, and maybe a couple of non-boaters not be able to make it. But we got down to number 32 in the Angler of the Year list. So if you fished under 32 and didn't win an event, you aren't going to the Grand Final on the Richmond River. We've been doing some sums on the prize boats. Nicole was like double tapping the calculator to work out it was right. Brim prize boat is going to be worth $95,000 retail. And you've got a 1 in 30 chance of catching it. In the Bass Grand Final, it's around a $30,000 boat. It's a J455 Bluefin with a 40 horsepower Merc, some cool electronics on it, some lithium batteries. So we've got it all happening behind the scenes here for the end of the year, because we are done with the qualifying series now, aren't we, Nicole? We are done. So if you're in the Grand Final, we look forward to seeing you the rest of the year. If not, better luck next year. The Brim Grand Final invitations are out, so if you're a Brim Grand Finalist, you should have that in your email box. If you haven't, let us know. And the Bass ones, Nicole, going out next week maybe, sometime?
Yeah, just firming up a couple of last little details.
We've got some details getting sorted out, but yeah, if you're a Bass guy, expect an invitation soon. That Bass Grand Final is not until November this year. We have prizes tonight. I have a great box of prizes here, and put in a bigger box this week. You can win a couple of these Molix. What are they called, Pete?
Jerk 105s.
Jerk 105s. Got 2 of those big things. They look great in the water. I've got some Johnny Costello lures here, some Jack Burners and some paddle glides from Johnny Costello. I've got them in the prize pack tonight. Thank you, Johnny, for your sponsorship this year. Look at this, couple of lazy crush shitty heavy hitters there in the biggest size that they make. Both heavy hitters. And we've got some great Zerek lures here, of course, the flat shads. They have been a staple on ABT's Barra Tour for years and years and years now. I've got some fish traps. Liam Rodson will be upset that he hasn't got them all in Australia. We've got 2 of them here. the master of them. Liam, our current Barra Angler of the Year. We got some Duo Realis Booster Weight plastics. They love them up there. Jono up north loves throwing those things. And of course, we've got one of the live mullets. You only get one because you only need one. They last so good. Oh, and some Atomic braid there. So thanks, Michael Starkey and Atomic, for your sponsorship this year. Just let us know where you're watching from. Throw your postcode, your suburb in. Make sure you're from Australia. I'm not posting this to Singapore, Mike Sutcliffe, sorry. But there will be one lucky winner. What's that?
He's in England now.
Oh, he's in England. I'm not even posting to England, Mike. So there is a great prize tonight. Just let us know where you're watching from. It gives us a bit of an idea of the demographic of our viewership. Are they brim guys, bass guys, barra guys? Tonight's sort of all about barra. So I think let's get straight into it. I'm not going to run an ad before we talk to Pete.
Yeah.
We're going to talk straight to Pete Herbst. Pete, how long have you been a rep for EJ Todd's?
Just on 8 years now.
Before that, you were at my local tackle shop. You were Tackle Warehouse, weren't you?
Tackle Warehouse for just under 10. Fish Head for 4 months and 2.5 years at Mossop's.
So you have done all of your work basically in the southeast.
Yep.
And if people want to follow you, if you're a tackle shop owner, you'll drop in and see him. But if they want to follow you, you've got a successful YouTube channel as well.
Yep.
Give us a sing out for that.
Yep, Peter Herbst Fishing on YouTube. Yep.
If you're in the southeast of Queensland, Pete will give you all the good oil on what's biting and where.
Yep.
He'll even give you his secret spots if you watch enough.
Maybe.
You like
Maybe.
Oh, you just watch him. My theory is if you know the background, you already know the spot.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So-
That's true.
So, Pete, it's great to see you here because EJ Todd's have been sponsoring ABT for as long as I can remember. But Molix in particular has been a very hot brand, especially for the Barra recently. So I said,
Yep.
bring some show and tell in tonight and show us some of the Barra products that will probably play this year.
Yep.
And you've done exactly that. So
Yep.
before we get into the Molix, I want you to tell me about this
Okay.
cool thing. This isn't a Molix, but I said you're not allowed to put that away. This is good.
Yeah.
Tell us about this thing.
You're like, no. Oh, hang on. Show me that.
That's
So that's a Mike Booker bait. Booker Trick Shad 6-inch.
Yep.
They just released in iCast an 8-inch version and a 4-inch version as well. So we'll be getting them at some stage. Won't be a little while off yet, but there
Do
is
they
a
look
big
like a
and small.
bony brim?
That looks
Oh,
too
yeah.
good. Looks too good.
Suspending
Yeah.
or sinking?
It's very slow sinking.
Slow sinking.
Yeah.
So
I've upgraded the hooks on that one there, so it'll
Yep.
probably sink a little bit quicker.
And the next, if a Barra engulfs this, I know the mouth's going to be here. It's going to end up
Yeah.
down about there, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. A few guys have already started catching fish on them. A few guys were bringing them in before we were catching fish on. Ultra soft tail. There
Yeah,
is a
this
spare
is
tail
super
in the
Yep.
in the box as well. Not cheap, but yeah, excellent swimming action. I've used them on the flathead, and I'm sure everything's going to eat them because they look awesome.
Yeah. How much? Approximately how much retail
About
for those guys?
$75 to $80 retail.
That's pretty standard for a glide.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's up there.
I want to start your show and tell with where's your? Here it is. This is your This is your
Yeah.
bread and butter. for
So
Barra, isn't it?
I mean, a lot of you have to give a lot of credence to ABT because this Molix as a brand really come out of the Barra Tour in my opinion. Jeff Newby and Phil Lyons used
Yep.
the Molix 140 quite a few years ago. Did really well. Had that not have happened, I don't think Molix would be the brand it is
Yep.
today. So.
Couple of tournament wins just to elevate products, don't
Yeah,
they?
it just gets people to go look at it. They might not have. It was probably been bound and it got resurgent basically from those guys using it. And
Yep.
ABT giving the platform to show it to everyone, and everyone jumped on, used them, and they just catch fish.
And this is the one, isn't it?
This is
It's
the
that
original
black
one.
gold one with the chartreuse tail. People would dip it if they didn't already have it. But
Yep.
tell me your thoughts on what happens when people put a treble on that one there. They're not made for it, are
Well, yes, You
I
can-
do it. I put it.
Yeah.
I don't care if I tear them up.
I've done both. I think you're just going to tear the lure, or you potentially could tear the lure
Yep.
a bit more. Just one of those things. If you want to hook more, put the 2 sets of trebles on. If you're not worried about ruining the lure,
Yep.
basically that's fine. Or
It doesn't affect the action at all, does it?
not really. No, a few guys will cut the top hook off and put 2 trebles. They reckon it rolls a little bit
Yep.
better again.
Yep.
But realistically, yeah, they're pretty good to go with the blade on the back, or take it off and put treble. Either or. Basically.
I remember in the early days, people were chopping this off, chopping that wing off. Jeff
Yeah.
Newby had it. If you
Yeah.
don't do exactly this to it, you're not going to catch it. But I'll just take it out of the pack and throw it. And sometimes,
Yeah. I think Colin Brett last year, the year before,
Colin.
did really well. Just standard, just basically put a stronger treble on the front. And that was
because we all know what Colin Brett's preparation's like for Barra
I
Tour.
imagine it's pretty lazy. Yeah.
It's lots of this and not a lot
a
lot of this.
Should be right. Yeah.
We love you, Collie. They call him Collie Brim for nothing. He's really a brim fisherman at heart. Just
I heard
remember that, everybody.
I heard that at the trade show.
Take us about through the little brothers. I'm familiar with this one.
Yeah, so the 120.
The 120 was out a few years ago.
Yeah. We brought that in. The 100 actually came in around the same time.
Oh, really?
A few guys did really well with that in winter when the bite was really tough and the plastics were really quite small they're using. So 100 shad there, and then the 120. You know, there might be another size in the pipeline some stage. So.
Cool.
Yes, there might be another size added to that, but yeah, we basically just messed around with different sizes and weights trying to account for what we need, basically. Yeah.
Now, I did a video at AFTA of all the cooler new products coming out, and this was definitely high on the radar. Dave Young took us through some of these baits. Tell us what these look. These look like a hybrid of several successful barra baits in some different sizes. So what are they called, and tell us about them?
So it's a swim shad. There's actually 3 sizes. I forgot to bring the little one with me, but there's a 115, 20 grams, 150, 42 grams, and a 180, 60 grams, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So 9 joints, 2 sets of trebles.
They come with 2 sets?
Yeah, out of the box, as they are there, that's how
they come out of the box.
So quite strong. I think they're an OEM BKK treble.
Yep.
Swim at a ridiculously slow speed. So because they're a soft plastic like your like the 140, they're ridiculously soft and
they're articulated
almost with
anyway.
current. It'll swim with just the slightest amount of current. So very, very slow retrieve required. And if you stall, that lure will actually swim on the drop as well.
Nice.
So
if you have a follower on scope,
you
can stop
could
it
stall it and it will
away you
still
go.
be swimming as it sinks.
I'm a big fan of lures that you can pull straight out of the box and you don't have to do anything with them. You know, like the Samaki Redix are an example where people say, "What do I do with these hooks on it?" I'm like, don't touch them at all. It's perfect. So lures that are perfect straight out of the box. Well done. This is, I'm sure, some of your input to Toddy's about this.
Yeah, little bits. I won't take credit for this lure, but yes, certainly ready to rock and roll. We need to make it like that because the 140 needed some adjustments. So it'd be good to get something, totally ready to rock and roll, basically.
Now I'm pretty interested by this. These are Australian Barra take a lot of toll on tackle, and heavy duty 4-wheel drive and jig heads like this are required, and this is a new one in your range?
Yes, so OMTD OJ 1200. It's been around for a little bit, but it's taken a little while to get some popularity, and I think, not just the strolling guys, but also just normal paddle tails guys have started using them. I think the big selling point is the shorter shank with the big gape, so, guys trying to rig 7 and 9 inch plastics find it very difficult to get the power to bring it through, and being a shorter shank, you don't have to go as far, and you've still got that exposed gape, basically. And
it's not, and Barra don't eat it like this. They just engulf the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
like most fish, I guess, realistically, around the head's better to have the jig head, to be honest, than close to the tail. So
and again, you can add a treble to the bottom of this if you want that stinger hook there, and some people love them. Some people don't like throwing a lure unless it's got 10 hook points on it.
Yep.
Other people are confident and will just fish that thing straight on.
I'm kind of the 10. Definitely want to have a treble hanging off that myself personally. But,
so you would have that with the treble and then peg it into the bottom?
Yeah, I would.
So tell us what that's. Is
that
one of the RT
That's a 7-inch RT shad. Obviously, we've got 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 7 and 9. So that's the 7. That's my favourite size for using at Mondrian.
Yep.
And nice big strong jig head, really quite a strong hook as well.
Again,
a lot of the stuff's coming out for pike. Internationally, it's most of the stuff is designed for their pike.
Just have to get the hardware up a bit.
Generally,
Would you use one of these smaller RT shads on that size jig head if you were catching big fish?
We go down to a 5.0. But I personally wouldn't. We go down to a 5.0, 5.0, 6.0, 7.0, 8.0, 9.0 in those jig heads, and I think from about 1/4 ounce up, or 3/8 ounce up, I should say.
The reason I ask is because guys like Peter Price on the Barra Tour, he is a champion of using a massive jig head with a tiny little slick rig on it.
Right.
So he would use something enormous like that with this tiny little bait on it because Peter, you're not superstitious because I have seen Pete come into a point that I've been fishing for 2 hours and then catch 10 fish in a row. You remember that, Nicole, don't you? We were only swearing him a little bit. He was using tiny little baits on big hooks to hold them. So good to see that more and more good quality jig heads and terminal tackle are available for Barra guys.
Yep, definitely.
I want to talk about next about the potential of seeing Pete Herbst at a Barra event, mate. We visit Awonga, Mondrian, Kinchin, Toowoomba and Faust. What is your favourite of those 5 lakes?
Obviously, for me, it's Mondrian. I've done a little bit of Wonga, not a great deal.
Yep.
My biggest problem is I won't say I'm scared of the dark, but driving around at night, and I think you've got to know exactly
Yeah.
where you're going in
Yeah.
ABT tournament because you're going to be going around pretty quickly.
No,
So-
we're limited to 20 knots after dark.
Oh, do you?
No,
Okay.
20 knots, yeah, which is just under about 35 k's an hour.
Rightio,
So we
rightio.
keep everyone pretty slow. I don't want to hit
My
a
excuse
Monty
is
tree.
fading away as you speak now.
Well, that's why we're having the discussion.
Yeah.
So, but no, look, it's a good group of guys, and we love sponsor teams. It really is sort of like a melting pot for the industry. Like last year, we had Mick Starkey was there from Atomic,
Yes.
Timmy was there from Rapala,
Yeah.
Dicko was there
Yeah.
from Zerek, Josh was there from Samaki. It's like a lot of guys take the opportunity. Yeah, Timmy Carter from Halco was there a couple of years ago, and they use it as an R&D experience. So what you do is say, Brian Todd goes, Pete, go up there and just work out what everyone's using and work out where we need to go, our direction for
Yeah,
our
well, you
stuff.
get a better idea of what's going on because, as I've always said, obviously I've done a lot of brim and bass tournaments back in the day. A lot of the trends come from tournaments, and
That's
it
right.
leaks out from there and spreads out.
So you want to find out straight from the horse's mouth, not
Yeah.
from the guy that went to the tackle shop that then told
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm just doing the self
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so
It's
Brian
working,
can send
it's
you up
working.
there. Pete, obviously you've been you haven't fished a Barra Tour event, but you've been a spectator of what the Barra Tour has done for the industry
Sure,
over the
100%,
years.
yeah.
From your point of view as a tackle rep, how quickly does stuff go from winning a Barra tournament to people asking for it on the shelves?
Pretty quickly. Yeah, it's like videos. It's almost instantaneous.
Yeah.
Basically.
He
And the
runs
more-
one night, the next day they're all they're in wanting
Yeah,
it.
look at strolling. I mean, it's
Yeah.
100% come out of that.
Yeah.
Would we all, like, the guys, be all doing it? I don't think so. If Jacob Wheeler didn't come out and do it,
maybe.
So-
Look, I remember the great Molix 140 shortage of about 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think Monty was strolling around with 15 or 20 in his box selling him, just seeing if he could get $20, $30, $40 each for them. So, nowadays you've got the supply side sorted.
Yeah.
I can walk into most tackle stores
Yeah.
and get myself a Molix. But, mate, thanks for coming in tonight.
No worries,
Thanks
thank
for, we might see you at a Barra event, but thanks for EJ Todd for being a great ABT sponsor. And, mate, I think we'll have to get you in here again because you're so close.
Yeah, may as well. It's not far.
There you go, mate. Thanks for coming
Cheers.
in. And
Thank you.
we're gonna drop to an ad, but remember to enter the competition. Tell us where you're from in the comments on YouTube, comments on Facebook. Let us know where you're from. You could win this big box full of good stuff. We are back, and Pete Herbst and EJ Todd are out the door. Dicko, Nate Archer from Wilson's are magically in the seats. Nate, welcome to ABT Live. This is your first time.
First time, yep.
If you don't follow and know this guy, there's something wrong with you because I'm surprised your arms are as small as they are, mate. I thought they would be beef from catching 50, 60 barra in a weekend, smashing the cod, smashing the bass. He can fish, can't he, Dicko?
He's all right there, isn't he?
He's all right. We gave him a few. Nicole cooked up a great dinner tonight of beef ribs, actually, and I noticed she went double serving. You went back for more.
Yep.
Cup of tea.
Very nice.
Couple of mint slices at the end. Got to replace the energy from one of those fishing.
That's right, yep.
So Nate, well done. And Dicko, you're a veteran of ABT Live, and you, like me, and probably like Nate, are going only a week or two away from barra season starting, and that's not. You can't catch barra the rest of the year. It's just ABT barra events. We had one in February. We've had a bit of a hiatus through winter, even though winter's good. And we're about to hit barra season for ABT, and that is the time of year you're snapping your doodle right off at the base.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not fishing the first one at a Wonga, but
You'll be able to watch the live scoreboards.
yes,
You've got Nate doing that.
Nate's doing it. So.
Looking forward to that.
And if you don't know, next weekend is the very first event of the spring for ABT in the Zerek BARRA Series.
Yep.
It is the Molix sponsored round, and it is at Lake Wonga. We talked to Corey up there today, Corey Gooch, who guides on the lake, and he says, look, every warm day they're getting at the moment, the fish activity is going up, and his clients are catching them. So he goes, if we have some nice constant weather for the next week, they'll be snapping.
It's looking good. It's looking
Well,
really good.
he's been catching them, so
That's it.
So
So
the daytime ones too, which is
yeah, that's right. And look, it's catching barra, like you going out scoping up a barra, is a whole lot different to you trying to get someone that doesn't know what they're doing to catch a barra. And if that's happening, then we're pretty confident that the field might have a good time.
yeah, I think the boys. I think there's going to be some big fish too. I think it'll be good.
He's excited to leave it going. But you'll be watching that live
Yeah, I
scoreboard
know, I will.
up
I
until
will.
every night.
First time in 10 years I'm going on holidays with my kids, so
That is admirable,
Yes.
but I know you're going to be missing us.
yeah, I know I will be.
Dicko, take us. Let's rewind a little bit. You know, you guys had a really successful AFTA, won plenty of awards.
Yes.
And I love it because you guys don't see what happens at the gala dinner, but the Wilson's table, the Rapala table, Shimano table, the Daiwa table, all get fairly drunk, and whenever they win an award, the cry goes up. It's like, and the winner is Wilson's, and it's like, way!
Yeah.
And then they have a table way in the back corner. It takes Dicko or whoever they allocate has to walk all the way around to come and get their awards. But you won, what, 4 or 5 awards this year again?
Yeah.
And I suppose you don't just win an award because you started doing stuff now this year. It's just because 5 or 6 years ago you started a train of product development for barra, bass, brim, bait fishing products that ends up being on sale and launched it after, and then the retailers all say that is a grouse idea. We think that's the best on the market. So it takes a long time. Doesn't
It does, like start to finish. Like some products are just years in the making. Some products just fall on your lap. You know what I mean? Like you get it first out. You know, when you make a mold, especially for a lure and stuff like that, you make a mold and. You know, every now and again you just get
works
one
first
right,
time,
and then sometimes it takes 10. You know, So
and money
and lots of money
to do it.
Yeah.
And so, like Pete, you've got some great show and tells here. Nate's got some of his well worn rigs, and look, I can tell when a rig is well worn because the hyperline starts getting really shiny down here. And I've got a few of my little Target 1 rods like this, but this has spent a lot of time in your greasy little mitts. So we're going to go through that in a little while. But first, we're going to talk to Dicko about some of the cool new colours, products, and things you've got for the barra season this year.
Yes. Yep.
Where are we going to start?
Yeah. Well, where are we going to start?
We are going to start. Let's start at this end. This is not even 12 months since this has become a thing. This product. Tell me exactly what it is.
So last year when we were on Barra tour, Timmy was fishing with Jacob Wheeler, and I was talking to Jacob at the boat, and he's showing me what he was using, and I'm going, that's pretty cool. I've got something like that similar. I've got something similar to that in the boat.
Digging in your boat.
And the boys from Duo had sent us a little care package just with some bits and pieces to try.
Yep.
And then we had a free night. We were allowed to go pre-fishing, so we went out and I tied on one of these 7.5 inch fish rollers, and
I remember what you said after the night,
mate.
You said, Morgo, they want to kill it.
They just want to kill it. Yeah. So I had one packet of the 7.5s, and I had a couple of packets of the 6.5s, And I went on. There was one there that I think I've got like 14 fish on it, and I thought the last fish was I stopped in at Mondi on the way home, and I got a 124 at Mondi. So it just sort of, it's just
So
crazy.
these have been a real success for you, and in all
Really.
sizes too. I noticed, Nate, you've been using them down to small sizes.
All sizes, yeah.
They're super soft. Like you might see this on thing and think, oh, that's a hard sort of bait. These
Yeah.
are a really soft bait. And explain the like the dragon scales on the outside of it. What are they about?
So this bait was specially like designed for the American market as a strolling bait.
Yeah.
So it was one of their, that's why we've had so much trouble getting the stock, is because the Americans keep taking it all. But now I think we've had three shipments come in, and now we've just got our biggest ever shipment. So we're going to have lots available, and they're going out this week. So all the guys that have been chasing the 7-inch, 7.5.
You're going to be able to get it.
You're going to be able to get them.
You get them before a woman.
and yes, so you're going to be able to get them. So they're going to be available in most shops soon. And there's 7.5s have been the ones for the Barra.
Yeah.
The 6.5s, they've been working really well. But then the smaller ones on the flatties and bass and all that sort of stuff, they've just been going really good. So it's been it's just been a really good. That's one of those ones that fell in our lap.
That's it.
Yeah.
You take it. You take it.
Yeah. So it fell in the lap. We were in the right time, and I think we reacted straight away. Well, I think I was talking to you out the front when I was going, this is mad. I'm on the phone to Cord, and Cord's like, order them.
Get them all.
And then and then just went from there.
And that's an example of how ABT success can translate into sales. Because I know they put them up in the tackle warehouse, which is my local tackle store.
Yep.
And they all disappeared.
Straight away. Yeah.
And they're not the cheapest plastic in the world.
No, they're not. No.
But because if you think they're going to catch fish, they're worth having in the pocket. So there you go. Nate, I want your experience of these, because I would pretty much guarantee you've caught more big barra on these than anyone else on the planet.
I guarantee that.
I remember you took these things up to Mondrian, and didn't you have like a 50 or 60 or 70 fish weekend on them?
There's a 62 fish.
62 meteries?
62 meteries, yeah.
Do you don't even count the ones under a metre or what?
Nah, stop.
62 meteries, mainly on these things?
Yeah, they just... Well, I was getting to the point where I'm getting low, and I'm welding them back together. I'm like, I need to make these last because they're going nuts. Now
we're going to have we've just lost camera there at the moment, but we do have audio all the way through, so
Okay,
don't worry about that big question mark there. I think guys like you that have success on them, and you're not a secret squirrel. You don't just go and hide it away and keep it to yourself. You let everyone know, and then you give Dicko the problems of getting them.
Yeah,
so that's
right,
your problem.
yeah.
That's his job, isn't it?
You can sort out getting them now. Yep, we'll just catch the fish.
We've got that solved now. She's done. They're all there, ready to go.
Question is this bait going to play at a Wonga?
Oh, yeah.
Is it tied on all your rods? Yeah.
We got some other weekend already, so...
Yeah.
There you go. So, you have been up there for a pre-fish. And look, I don't want all the secrets, but are you looking forward to a Wonga? You think it's going to be grouse?
I wasn't, but going up there, I'm real looking forward to getting on there now. I feel like I want
You haven't done much time at a Wonga?
I used to going over.
Yep.
That was our local when I lived in Rocky.
Yep.
So I spent a lot of time there before.
Didn't want to go back when there were not many barra in there?
Yeah, it's a bit disheartening, especially when Mondi's close to
calling.
drive. Yeah,
because you're a Gold Coast guy now.
Gold Coast guy. Yep. So it's an hour and a half less driving for me.
Well, tell us your feelings as you drove away from it a couple of weeks ago.
It's pretty happy. I'm
Pretty
really
nice.
looking forward to get back up there. Yeah. So Tuesday night I'll be hopefully back out there smacking into a few. There's plenty of fish there, and they're all good size.
So, and tell us what the cohorts of fish look like. Lots of little fish, medium size, big, or is there a bit of everything? What's the average size fish you're catching?
Well, our average size is like metre 6, metre 8 more there. So
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Handy.
Yep.
That's a good average.
Yeah, it's a good average. Yeah. No, there's a lot of metre plus fish there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then the little ones, obviously, by the big ones, get pushed into the weedy areas and pushed out of the road. And I think they've put nearly 3 million barra there in the last 3 years. So as those big ones move out, they're going to get replaced by the little ones that finally can get some space out of the weeds, can't they?
That's right. Yeah. No, I think I think Wonga is going to be really turning it on, especially this ABT, and then the next one's following.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good.
Awesome. So, the Australian Open, of course, in there in a little while. Now, that's good. That's fish rollers. I know you were going to be super excited about that. Dicko, you launched some other stuff at AFTA. Yep. Tell us what these fellas are, because these have got Australian input into them.
Yes, so this is from Duo. So the fang bait and the the Duo Realis 100 DRs. So we've actually gone and made them barra ready. So straight out of the packet, ready to go.
So right hooks, right suspending, everything's right about them.
So we've gone down two paths here. We've gone with the fang bait. So it's a full wire body construction. So it's got full wire body through from head to toe. Decoy hooks on it straight out of the packet. And it's like I said, ready to go. So, but then we also did. So there's two sizes in that. There's an 80 mil and a 100 mil.
Yep.
But then what we did, we needed to have. They got a rattle in them, so they're a noisy bait. So then we wanted to make a bait that was silent.
Yep.
So then we went back to Duo and we said, listen, we want to base it off the Realis 100. What can we do?
Yep.
So then Dan.
Dan's dead. We all know Dan. Yes.
So Dan re-engineered that lure, cut it in half, and got it sitting the way I wanted it to sit in the water.
And why re-engineered? Does the plastic remain the same, but the weight changes? And
all the weight system, all the internal weight systems have changed totally in that lure to the original.
And this is the 100 here.
That's the 100, yeah. So that's all the colours available in the 100. Yep. So there's some really cool. So when that lure suspends, it sits bib down. Yep. So when you're twitching it, it gets down to its depth.
Yep.
But you can continue to work it down.
And it'll especially with a fluorocarbon leader, it'll dive deeper.
So if you want it to sit at its, like it goes to about 2.5 metres. On a mono leader, it'll go to about 2.5 metres. With a fluorocarbon, I can get down to 3.5 metres.
Yep.
So,
and these are great, and these are very Australian-inspired colours here.
They are. A lot of those are Dan's introduced colours.
Personal favourites.
Yeah.
I like the barred grunter here.
Yeah, that was just a
special.
That's a printout. That one.
Yep. So I love that. I love that there, and I love the fact again. This is a lure that you just tie on.
Yep.
Throw it.
That's what we're trying to aim for. You know, everyone tinkers with lures, but you know
we will still tinker
always
with them.
tinkers. But we are. That's our aim, is to try and make so you tie it on out of the packet, just trying to catch what it catches. So,
that's right. I'm busy filming them, mate. I don't want to tinker with them. I just want to catch on them.
Yeah.
Take us through these again. I know Dan slipped me some of these for the brim and the bass, and I've been using them increasingly, the Duo split rings. Both the split rings and the Duo replacement trebles seem to be a big hit because they're the right price and they're tough.
And they're matched to the lures.
100%.
So Japanese style lures are very, very temperamental, you know what I mean? So you need to put back on what comes off them. So Duo have come to the party. They've got split rings, all the hooks, everything that you can buy. You can just replace exactly the same hooks that come with them.
So that's been a real success.
And on another thing with the splitties, we actually got them to introduce a heavy duty range into it as well. So there'll be some 2.5s, 3.5s, and 4.5s and 5.5. So I think the heaviest one's going to be about 80 kilos.
Right. So you are not going to.
No.
There's going to be something that breaks before that.
Yeah. So the 3.5.
You'll be able to break.
Yeah. So the 3.5s will be what's on these.
Yes.
So,
all right.
Perfect little rings for those. So.
Lastly, from your side, Dicko, tell us about the new custom colours. I assume that's what they are, because there are some favourite old Wilson colours in here and a couple of new colours.
We've introduced some favourites from some of the fish trap colours.
Yep.
And then some versions of our Fat Betty. So this one's a different version of that.
There's so many Betty versions, aren't there?
Yes. Yeah.
Betty versions of everything. So there we go. Take us through some of them.
So we've got Betty on the end there, and then there's the orange tail mullet, and then the MN colour, so it's like your the GS1 in the fish trap colour.
Yep.
And then we've got the Pearl Magic on the end there. So there is another one too that's coming, and there is some really there's actually quite a few shops that have come to us.
Yep.
And they actually have their own
custom colours
coming. So in the next maybe 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to see a lot of cool colours. I'm not going to talk about the shop colours because they can release them themselves. But
there are other colours that aren't those ones that are cool that you only find at certain brand shops.
Yeah. So they've done their own colours, so pretty cool.
Everyone's gearing up for barra season.
Oh, they love it. Yeah, even this is so cool, but even southern stores are ringing us and say, I want my own custom colour.
There you go.
In a
And
mould.
what do you mean southern, like Tamworth or something like that?
Yeah,
Or,
down that
Really?
way, like, and Brady from Ballina, those, shops down there, the boys up at
Like their own
Toowoomba,
custom colours.
yeah, the whole Tackle World group. So you've got, what do you got?
well, then 50 or
50
60
stores.
stores. Yep.
They all did their own range of colours. It's pretty cool.
Give us a bit of industry insight. How many units does a tackle store need to buy to get their own custom colour? If I want the Nate Archer colour, how many do I need to buy? 200?
300.
500?
300.
300.
Yeah.
So if it's a shit colour, you've got 295 left over, and that's your problem.
Yeah.
So make sure you get the decision right.
No, the boys have been really good with that program. Actually, it's come along fairly good. And now it's expanding to like fish traps and all kinds of things. So
Awesome.
pretty cool program.
So basically, the take-home story is Wilson kicking goals since after
Oh.
and looking forward to a great Barra season.
Loving it. Can't wait.
Dicko's the tackle man. Dicko, you're out of here now. I want to talk to the man who probably uses it even more than you do,
Oh yeah.
Nate Archer. I am usually in awe of your social media because I see so many. I like your signature brag mat barrel cod on it. Here's the thing, and at the end.
That's it.
I know that's a Nate. I don't even have to see who posted it when it's like that. And normally they don't even get a jersey unless they're a metre.
Yeah.
Take us through your year. You started off. We met you probably nearly this time last year when we went to Mondi,
It was
and
actually,
you
yep.
won your first event,
Yep.
and then you thought, I'm going to win every event I'm ever going in. How many have you won since?
Just the one.
First one.
Nonsense.
One shot,
Just
one kill,
One
nonsense.
shot, one kill.
But
yeah,
maybe you want
that's
to try because we've got some super scopers fishing the Barra Tour this year.
do.
You know, guys like Kobe, guys like yourself, guys like Dicko, who's learning real fast how to do it.
I just don't have time.
What we wanted you to do tonight is you've got an assortment here of some of the rods and reels that you use to tackle all of these big fish.
Yep.
And for me, they're all surprisingly light. Like, you don't need a Pen 4.0 senator and a solid glass rod to catch some of these Barra that are 10, 15, 20 kilos.
No.
You're doing it with some Brisbane-made rods.
Yep.
The ATC reels. I want you to take us through one of the spin rods and one of the bait cast outfits and why you like it. Like, I see the grip here. They spent a lot of
It's
time in
worn
your
in.
hands. Tell
Yep.
us what the rod is and reel and how you use it.
All right, so this is the Target 4. So this is in the Target range. This is the bombed up version. Of
This is the
Baitcast.
big bopper.
This is the big
The big
bopper,
boy.
Yeah. So, that's caught a stack of 120s at fish. You can
Yep.
handle anything. Cod, the whole lot. Not the cod fight too much, but you
The
can
cod
throw-
and Barra, same outfit?
Same outfit, yeah. I just run all my Barra gear for the cod, which is probably a bit heavier than the other boys, but
Yep.
that's just what it is.
Is it me or does cod a big metre-long cod fight for about 8 seconds and it's in the net?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
good. That's not just me. Then.
The 120s go a bit hard. They feel a little bit drag.
Yep. So what sort of braid and what sort of leader have you got here?
That's actually the brand new braid.
That's the 8-strand venom braid.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the 50-pound, I believe.
Yep. The line is the 50, and
Yep.
then the leader. Feels like a fluorocarbon.
Yeah, that's 80-pound Wilson fluoro.
That's your light stuff.
Yeah.
You were telling me over dinner that you're up to 100 for some of them for some of those big Mondi fish.
Yeah, yep. We've been popped off on 80 pounds, so we'll step it up to 110 sometimes.
Yep.
Just depending on the mood they're in. But
Why do you like this outfit so much?
because you can get into them.
Because you can get it and no fear of busting it.
No, you can give them hell, and you're going to catch like impoundment barra. Like as hard as you hit them, they pull back, and it's fun.
You like screwing the drag up tight, and you don't fight them out.
big hook set, and let it go.
I love your videos.
That's right. If something goes for over 10 seconds, someone's given up.
Yeah, that's right. They pull back, they fight. Like, yeah, I don't think the salties go harder than the freshwater, in my opinion. Like,
That's interesting. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people that say, when I go to the territory,
Yeah.
all the Territorians say Dan Barra don't count
No.
because they don't fight.
Maybe
Tell
I'll call
us
one.
your opinion. You've caught
No.
heaps of salties, heaps of Dan Barra. What wins the fight?
unless you're getting 130 salties, the impoundment barra just
Yeah.
they go nuts.
A healthy 98 centimetre Mondrian Barra
They're
is
out of
hard.
the water. They're jumping like a dolphin.
I'm meter 10s out of the water
Yeah.
like at Mondi, and
Yeah.
they're just nuts.
The southern barra too. They're something else again. Like they go. They're so much fun. They're unreal.
I think the south of Brisbane Barra, they're afraid they're going to get robbed. So they've had a hard life in
Yeah.
Logan City, haven't they?
They've had a bad time. Yeah.
I grew up in Logan City. Take us through your spin. Like the thing I'm always surprised at is that you're catching just as big a fish on
Yep.
spin as you are bait caster, and that is not a massive size spin reel there,
No.
and you haven't destroyed it.
Haven't destroyed it? No, it's held up very well.
Take us through that outfit there.
So that's your target 2 spin.
Yep.
With a 3000 vigilance. 49 pound V line, and I got 50 pound Wilson fluoro.
When you throw a rolling bait, for instance,
Yep.
is that going to be fished on spin or on bait cast?
Spin, unless
Spin.
I'm feeling fancy.
Okay.
It's more comfortable. You can get the lure to roll better, and you always got more control.
It just sort of
spin.
sits in your hand, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's-
sits in the right thing with you shaking it.
Yeah, I
So.
feel like it gives you a slack line a bit better, and we also found with the cod too, when we were strolling them, that you could just hover it a lot better. The boys in the bait cast were struggling to sort of keep that lure higher and not let it fall down on the fish.
Yep.
When they go on the spin, they're all pretty hardcore bait cast guys. They're like, oh, the spin's way easier to do so.
Yep, and this balances in the hand nicely, doesn't it, Dicko? They're designed
Yeah.
to sit nicely. Like my favourite target is the Target 1, of course, because I haven't got noodle arms, and I like that underhand pitch cast. But it's amazing. I've got Barra to 125 on the Target 1,
Yeah.
and it handles it no worries at all.
My favourite rod now.
I think it's Nicole's favourite rod too, isn't it? She's like, I like my Target 1.
Yeah.
I'll let it be known that we went down to catch them Dew the other night, and Nicole told me 1-0 on a running tide shit fishing. But Nicole's like she's dialing in for Barra Tour. Watch out this year.
Very good.
She was showing Nate the Barra the badge collection before.
Yep.
How many
Very-
Barra badges you got?
I've only got 2.
2. Nicole's like pulled out a whole board. Check this out, Nate.
She's got me.
Mind game.
So
Yeah. She's psyching me out.
she's starting early.
Throwing rocks.
Well, anyone that follows Nicole on social media will know that she's got a little bit of a thing going with Maddie Langford. Whoever does best in a Barra tournament has to do a post on their socials to say that I admit that I am an inferior fisherman to blah, blah, blah. Now, at Bondurant, when we were there for the thing, I think Maddie had one of those posts and Nicole had one of those posts. Nicole worked out today that Maddie's not even going to Wonga. So by default's all right.
No.
Default's all right. You watch next Sunday night. Maddie Langford will have a post there saying that Nicole is a better Barra fisherman. That is Nicole's motivation behind there, I think.
Nice.
Since we've got you on the show here, and since a lot of guys that are going to be fishing or thinking about fishing in Wonga,
Yep.
I want a super Nate tip, because you are the best scoper that I've ever seen in Australia. What would you be? Would you be forward moding him at a Wonga? Would you be perspective moding him there? What's your deal? Or scout mode or forward mode?
Scout for me.
You're a scout man.
I'm a
aren't you?
scout man, yeah. Once you sort of get your contrast right with your depth, it's hard to go past.
He's like a maniac.
Well, this isn't gay, but you like working the pole pretty
I
hard.
like working pole, yeah. I get on the G's.
I get tired watching him. Man.
And let me explain for people that mightn't have seen Nate in action. Instead of forward mode looks this way. So when the lure sinks, if I'm pointing at the lure, I can see that lure sink through the column. With scout or perspective mode, you're only looking at a certain area, a certain section of the water column. As that lure sinks, you have to get the pole and push it down so that transducer points down, and you like following that lure down through the water column. So you've got to be working the rod, but also working the working at the same time to see it. And you've got you haven't got a foot.
Nah.
You've got
that's
a.
what I'm saying. He's like a
Are you an
maniac.
octopus?
I need a tail.
What you do is you actually, the colour of the fish or the shade of the fish and the shade of the, when they're the same, you assume they're at the same depth.
Yeah,
That's
so
how you work it.
it's you want to pitch out your bait, and you want to bang that pole up straight away, and you'll see your splash.
Yep.
So you want to track your lure.
Yep.
And then if the fish is up high, yes, sweet. But if they're down deep,
They might be in the same shot if they're up high.
that's right. You can
Yep.
see the lure splash, fish, and then as you bring that lure over to intercept that fish as they move, you then want to get your contrast to the fish right, so
Yep.
it's on the hottest return. So
Yep.
that's the
So
center.
they're
of the
both
bait.
hot. Yeah, the lure, and that might mean letting your lure sink.
Yep.
Or winding your lure up to
That's
get at the
right.
right thing.
Yep. So and you match that contrast, and you want to sniff it that close to their nose.
Yep.
Like it is sometimes like a centimeter off the snout.
Yep. Yeah, a foot away is too far
No,
sometimes. Isn't
too
it?
far. Yeah.
And sometimes, don't you think that they just open their mouth because it's there? It's like, oh, I'll eat it.
You think so, but
Or
it's
I
not
won't
that
eat
easy
it.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, it's your social media. Where do you put most of your stuff? Is it Facebook, Instagram? Where do you put it?
Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram. So and your handle is, if people want to follow you,
NATO's fishing.
NATO's Fishing. Get on it if you want to see a never-ending string of jealousy-making fish: barra, cod, togas, bass. Let's get you to a brim tournament one day. You
Might have to
can't
go to
spike brim that good,
No.
mate. That's
I'll give it a try.
and look, looking forward to Awonga. You fish under the Wilson's banner there.
Yeah.
Sponsor Carver. It'll have to happen, won't it? Because it happens all the time in ABT
It
events.
does, yes. It'll be good.
Be good.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Can't
Awesome.
wait to get up there.
Guys, thank you very much for the tackle show and tell, for the technique show and tell. I think we're going to go to an ad, and we might come back with the Team Australia stuff. And that, Nicole, that's what we've got next.
Yep.
See you after the break. All right, these guys have had a couple of weeks in the spotlight. I've got two representatives from Team Australia at the Bass World Championships in South Africa. Welcome, Chris Hickson, captain of the Australian team, and Mitchell Cohn. For some reason, Mitchell got to be vice captain. I think it's because you got some balanced, sensible decisions mixed with Ranger rage. Is that
Yeah,
the way
exactly.
the theory goes, or what?
Yeah, I get the
I
point
reckon
across a bit
sounds
better
about right.
sometimes.
You guys have worked really hard over the years, achieved some great results, and South Africa was no different. The results were fantastic. You guys, let's rewind it a bit. Considering that we haven't got largemouth bass here, you've just got to use your local experience plus what you've picked up in other championships. You guys do insanely well each year, and I suppose what we want our ABT live viewers to do tonight, get a little bit of in-depth. An in-depth view at why you have so much overall success. I assume it's because of the team approach and because everyone pools all their stuff and you just throw the egos to the side and get on with the business of finding and working out the patterns. Chris, is this what happens over there?
Most of the time, yeah, that's sort of the basis of it. One, we've got half a dozen really good anglers to start with. Like, everyone there can fish and fish really well. They've proven themselves over the years. All got a little bit of largemouth bass experience over the years, and then we just work really well together as a team. I think we just we've got the game plan after 2019. The first time we went to South Africa, we realised what the whole deal was about and how you had to make it work. We've fine-tuned it a little bit. It's actually really difficult to, especially on a small waterway, get 3 teams, 6 guys, enough stuff to fish for essentially 6 days, 3 practice days and 3 tournament days. But we seem to do pretty well with it, and that's and you can tell that by the questions we get at the closing ceremony each time, with a lot of the teams just asking how we do it.
Yeah. Well, I think we do a lot of team sports in Australia, and we've got who shares wins as an ABT motto. And I suppose when you're fishing professionally in the US, it's who shares gets run over there. So maybe the format suits the way we do it. Coney, you're a notorious. I think you're the head of security for the Australian team. You're the one that has to keep Tommy Wood's mouth shut when he goes into tackle shops and stuff.
And has
How
too many
hard do you have
long
to?
tees.
How hard do you have to ride the team to keep the Tommy Woods with the mouth shut, mate, and just share that information internally?
Oh, look, he was warned again. He was warned again this trip. Yeah, I think he's just he's just so passionate and he loves it so much. It's hard. It's hard to put a cap in his mouth. But yeah, we kept reminding him a few times, and also about the States too. Like, we were like, bro, you cannot give these guys anything because they're, it's their dream as much as it is yours, but they're happy to take yours away so they can get theirs.
To get theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take us tell us about how remote the lake was in South Africa, and just paint a bit of a picture of what the lake's like. Mitchell, what's it the closest to in Australia?
It wasn't a large lake. I guess it's kind of a bit like Boondooma, to be honest. It's got a big main basin, but then it sort of runs up into there's one one river arm. There was a few trees up there, but just it was sort of there's like a main creek that went through there, sort of thing, like a main river that went through there, and we broke it down as fishing the drop offs and that sort of stuff, the bigger timber on the steeper drop offs and that in the main river channel, which was in the middle of the lake. But then once you got up the river, it was very similar. The edges had timber on it, but like the main river was very very bare. So I guess Boondooma would be the closest closest lake to what we have here.
And how many boats, Chris? How many boats are on the water for the event? So you've got a lake the size of Boondooma, you've got a week's worth of traffic on it. How many boats are on there for the week? And remember, these guys are all pretty good at catching fish, so they're picking that place apart.
Yeah, it got pretty well hammered. There's 15 countries, each one fielded 3 teams, so we had 45 boats on the water. That's for 3 practice days. Generally, it's only 2, but I think the US guys might have had a little hand because they didn't come over for pre-practice. I think they might have asked for the extra day, so we had 3 practice days, and that's 7 till 4 each day. And then you've got 3 tournament days, 7 till 4 each day as well. So there was not too much of that lake that hadn't been picked apart. And then on top of that, we had 2 pre-practice days leading up to it. And some of the other teams like Germany and Italy had been there for 2 weeks. So it had been well and truly hammered by the time we got there. But it fished really well, to be honest. It's quite remote. It's Marble Hall's the closest actual town next to it. It's sort of 25 minutes from where we were running it all from. And then it's more just remote communities and small towns close by. It's about 2.5 hours from Johannesburg, 3 hours from Johannesburg. So remote, but not crazy remote. You still had a lot of facilities around it, just not big enough to hold the whole tournament at once. So yeah, it was really, to be honest, the lake's really nice. The outlook's really nice. It is similar to like a lot of places when you get on the water are quite similar to home, but similar structure. You got slow sloping banks, rock walls, timber. As Carney said, the creek, reeds, grass, just your standard stuff, really.
Yep. And then when we're talking about fishing patterns, what did you use over there, or how similar was the pattern that you used over there to stuff that you use back home? Coney, guys that are good at Australian bass techniques, will they slip straight into this, or is it just learning from scratch?
No, it was a lot of learning from scratch. The jerkbait did play big time for us, so a lot of guys are onto that.
So we might have lost Coney there, Chris. You got it.
Yeah, sorry. The jerkbait played big for us this year. A lot of guys back home are pretty well onto the jerkbait thing now. Just upsized it. The Megabass Vision 110s in the +1 was probably a go-to, but the thing that changed was like one day they wanted it super fast and aggressive. The other day it was super slow. Our other sort of go-to technique was just a big jerk shad, unweighted or with a tiny bit of weight, like a caffeine shad, the Strike King caffeine shads, sinking them down into the tops of them trees on the creek drop-offs and that, and then just either burning them out and pausing it to get a reaction, or most of the time they'd eat it on the drop sort of thing. So, and then obviously we did a little bit of swim jigging in the grass. A few key ones on spinnerbaits and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of junk fishing, but a lot of different stuff back home.
So, Chris Hickson, do you think it's a lot closer to bass or to barra fishing for us, techniques wise?
Oh man, to be honest, there's a mix of everything. Hey, it's just that the largemouth eats so much different stuff. Like even on that lake, you could catch them on nearly everything. You just had to pick up the right thing at the time. So as Coney said, we got a lot on just bigger jerk baits and 4 and 5 inch flukes. That was sort of our staple. But then the last day, I know we were struggling a little bit, so I picked up a drop shot, caught some good fish on a drop shot. Tommy did quite a lot of minnowing as well. So we had a few trees we'd found with some really big fish in, but they were pressured, couldn't catch them. And we rotated through them sort of each day. And on the second day, I think I ended up picking up maybe a 7 inch jerk shad, but I burned it out really fast and got a reaction. So then Tommy picked up like an 8-inch Sakamata shad on a 3/16 ounce head. Like that's a big bait. That's a barra bait. And he just jigged that through a tree and like a 2.5 kegger or 2.2 kegger, come out and ate that. So it's definitely varied. There's so many different techniques. It's like barra lures with brim techniques, and then Aussie bass lures with barra techniques. It's so versatile. You have to be well versed. It's so much different stuff to be able to just pick it up, have a go, and be confident you're going to catch something on it too. Like Braden picked up a spinnerbait on the last day when it was blowing like crazy, fished a flat sloping bank in 3 feet, where we knew fish should have been, but hadn't been able to catch them all weekend really, and pulled a 3 kilo fish at the death. So it's not something that you can jump straight into. Different knots, different techniques, totally different lures. Like there's a fair bit to it, but it's just a matter of practice. Like we live and breathe it a little bit. We all watch Bassmaster. We all sort of get into the techniques as well. So we've got the kit there. I'm lucky enough to have been doing it for a while, and I think there was one suitcase I took over. There was 28 kilos of soft baits. So that's the sort of thing you got to be prepared for, like creature baits, worms, flukes, everything that they could eat. You've pretty much got to take with you just in case, and be confident to use it at the same time.
Now, I think Australians, we really enjoyed both the hosts' media coverage, but also your own media coverage. I think Em did a great job relaying what was happening over there to us back here. And I think one of the final bits of coverage we saw on your page was the Aussies having to do a shoey on stage. Coney, what was the background behind that, mate? How did that happen?
Well, that was actually our captain sort of dobbed us in for that one. Chris, he got an interview on the first morning at breakfast, and the MC sort of said, "What do you reckon, boys? Top 3, and you've all got to do a shoey on stage." And yeah, Chris obliged and laid down the challenge to us, and they certainly didn't forget it come presentation night. So we landed on the podium, so it was shoey time.
There's actually a little bit more backstory to that as well. So he approached me at the opening ceremony and said, "Do I remember back in 2019, we said if we podiumed then, we'd do shoeys?" And I definitely 100% did not remember that. So I reckon I either got stitched up by Tommy Slater or Phelpsy or someone. And then because we owed them one, I was like, all right, well, then if we top 3, we'll do it this time, thinking, like, what are the odds? Like, we've had a good year last year, but actually podiums, it's a fair stretch for us to Aussies to go over and do it. But we did. So, well, most of us did, put it that way.
Well, let's go through. Nicole's going to play the video now. It's a great video. Aussies doing their thing. South African host in there. Nicole, let's play that video now. Rightio, Chris. We're going to go back. I'm going to call the umpire on that one. Let's do a close-up of our 2 Aussies on the right-hand side there. Let's watch that bit now and see what's going on. Mitchell Cone, tell us what the hell is going on with Langers and Johnson with some dry shoes. What's going on, mate?
Mate, un-Australian. That's about the best way to put it, I think. I don't know. What do you reckon? Grand final, we get them up on stage, and they've got to honour their bet that they didn't do. I think that's the only way they can make their way back into the team, to be honest.
So there you go. Mick Johnson, Matty Langford, you've got to have to do a shoey at the grand final because you can't just fake your way through life and not do what you say you're going to do. Guys, congratulations for your results overseas. Fantastic. We're all super proud of you. One more thing, you've still got your raffle going. Chris, tell us about how the raffle's going, how much money have you earned so far, and when's it open till?
Yeah, so we were limited to a 3-month stint this time just to get the raffle into Victoria. There's certain states got different rules with all that sort of stuff. I think it's up around close to $8,000 we're sitting at the moment, which is awesome. We'd love to sort of double that if we could. It's a super expensive event, hey. It's ridiculous how much money it costs to get 6 blokes overseas and fish one of these things. But super stoked with everyone that's putting the cash in for us. I think I've sent some posters to yourself. Coney's got some posters. They're going out at 90s. We've got them at work. And then on the Team Australia Facebook page, there's a QR code. All you got to do is scan that, take it straight to the ticket sales site. If you're not in New South Wales, Queensland, or Victoria or Tasmania, it's a bit hard to do it. But if you use someone's address in those states, you can still buy the tickets. Plenty of ticket options from 3, 5, 10, all the way up to $1,000 worth. If you really want to go hard, and yeah, that's whatever's left over that that doesn't go towards this year will go towards the next event, which is going to be in the USA next year.
Awesome. And one final thing, I've got one more question for you, Chris. I want you to take us through. I saw a crazy video from Tommy Wood about some suicidal bass that would not get caught. Take us through cast to catch of that final fish that we heard Tommy giggling through the whole time. Tell us what happened.
So that exact tree the day before we'd rolled into, and I think first cast I got a mid to low 2 kilos fish off it. Tommy's pretty proficient at the live, so I do let him have the front of the boat quite a lot for first cast because he's a bit more efficient than myself at screening it around, pinning the fish down, taking the cast. So I sort of back him up quite a lot. He'd scoped in that tree and it was full of carp. And what we thought was a couple of bass, he's lobbed his caffeine shad in there, sunk it down. I'm sitting sort of waiting. All of a sudden, line's gone tight, hooked up, and he hooked up pretty well. And for some reason, just near the surface, it's let the hook go, or he hasn't set it enough. As the jerk shad or the caffeine shad's coming out, it tried to have another crack at it and missed. So Tommy's put a cast back in again, and the fish, it's like a same thing, mid to low 2 kilo bass, has come out blown up on it, had the best shot you've ever seen for a top water blow up on a shad. Tommy struck like crazy, but because it was such close quarters, using 20 pounds straight through, such close quarters, there's not enough stretch, and he's running a loop knot to get the max action out of the lure, cracked it clean off. But what had happened, as he'd missed it the first time, I'd also thrown a cast back in to back him up just in case, because that tree the day before actually had a pair of bass on it. We weren't sure whether the first one had gone back or whether there was another one there. So, and you always like to back someone up. And while I'm sitting there devastated, my fluke's sinking down. And if you look on Tommy's laptop, you can actually see the moment my line tightens up. And I didn't even notice it because we were too busy complaining and whinging and sulking about it. But as I stood up, I wound up, and the thing had actually eaten mine. What happened is I didn't get time to set a hook properly, so I skull dragged it towards the net, and luckily Tommy had it that day, got the fish in the net, but before it got in the net, my hook had come out of the fish as well, and he was lucky enough to scoop that thing up, like mid-water, got it in there, and then we're just cheering, carrying on, looked in its mouth, and it had his caffeine shad still in there down to its throat as well. So the dumbest largemouth bass in history.
That's right. I don't think you'd ever see you might see a cod do that, but I don't think you'd see an Australian bass do that. I think they're pretty much onto it, and you'd never ever see a brim do that.
Nah, not likely.
So guys,
but it just proves teamwork, eh? You gotta have that back up there and be ready for it all the time and make those ones really count.
Well, I think that's Team Australia's mantra is work as a team. It plays out for you every year. Coney, Chris, thank you very much for joining us on ABT Live, giving the guys a bit of an insight on what happens. And go buy some raffle tickets. You can win some fantastic prizes. All the information, Nicole's going to put the poster up here, and we'll have a link to it down below. So thanks very much, guys, and thank you for coming on ABT Live.
Awesome. Appreciate the support, guys, too. Thanks.
So, Maddie Langford, you are correct. That was a pretty good stitch-up, wasn't it? Maddie was commenting on YouTube or Facebook, Nicole? On Facebook, Maddie was watching, so good to see, mate, you and Mick Owasashui at the Bass Grand Final, which they're both going to. Dicko hasn't gone home yet, so we're using Dicko here at the end of the thing. Talking about the Zerek BARRA Tour, we got a Woonga next week. But then after that, we've got Mondrian in November, and it goes back-to-back with the Australian Open, again on a Woonga. Yep. So a whole lot of southern stuff happening in the next 2 months. But after that, in the first week of December, it's the traditional Barra Tour, Kinchin, Toowoomba, Faust. Yep. Big news, big release. Party night theme this week is?
This year, construction.
This year. construction. So you're going to have lots of Bob the Builders. Dicko reckons there's going to be lots of village people. Party night, you're not allowed to pre-fish on party night. Everyone's a bit dusty after the all-nighter. So if you're not going to be going there, wait for the social media photos.
It is a good night.
A lot of hard hats.
Yeah.
Which probably may be required. There'll be a lot of knocking on hard hats, I think, and a good night. That's the night where it's 7:30 at night. We've had dinner. We've had probably drinking for half the day, and you're going, geez, it's late. It must be 11 o'clock, and you look at your clock. It's 7:16.
Yeah.
It's like
no, it's a good night when everyone lets their hair down a little bit. Has a good bit of fun.
Best thing we ever did was ban pre-fishing that night
I love
because
it.
you don't need to fish all night one night, then all night the next night.
Yeah.
No one needs to do
I
that.
would be if I was allowed to, but the party night's a good night.
You would be too. I remember you used to.
Yeah.
Now, we have a winner. So our winner tonight is a guy called Aaron Compton from Rockhampton. He commented on YouTube. So, Aaron, you have got this massive box of tackle prizes coming your way. Can you please send us a message on Facebook to the ABT page, and we will get you that in the post tomorrow. I think that's it, Dicko. We're just ready for Barra. Are you ready for Barra?
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good year.
Nate's ready for Barra. He hasn't even got home yet either. He's hanging around. He's loving this live stuff. Thank you for joining us tonight on ABT Live. It was number 59. We had a comment this afternoon that we're nearly 60. We nearly should be looking at retirement. But I don't know. I'm not ready to retire yet.
Number 60 will be big Brim Grand Final. Brim
That's right. So Nicole does say correctly there that the next ABT Live in a few weeks' time is going to be a big Brim Grand Final special. As I said earlier, the Brim prize boat for the boaters value around $95,000. It's a Mercury 150 racing engine. It's on an alloy craft 5.3 metre with all the bells and whistles, twin axle trailer, powder coated, 2 Garmin 12-inch GPS maps on it, an LVS 34 live scope, a Garmin Force Pro on the front, and some green marine lithium batteries. Who wouldn't want a 1 in 30 chance of winning that? Going to be giving that away later this year.
That's so cool.
It is cool, isn't it?
Oh, that's very cool.
Someone's getting a great boat. So thanks for watching tonight. This is ABT Live number 59. Out.